Hi everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Digital Web. I'm going to go ahead and take you through all the content for the week, what to pay attention to, and what we're doing. So this week we're specifically talking a little bit more about the blogging component of your content management system. So again, some of you have asked me questions personally on if you have to use WordPress. You do not have to use WordPress. Specifically, you can use any CMS system that I've mentioned so far. If you have questions on those specifically, you can email me or you can just look back through the weekly announcements because I've already kind of discussed a few that you can use. Let's see. So you can read through the introduction. Of course, before you tackle the discussion or the assignments, anything of that nature, please make sure you read through the resources because that is all the lecture material for the course besides, of course, this. So you can see some of the things that we're going over here. So really what the blogging section is talking about is for self-promotion. Now, many of you guys won't need a blog specifically if you're not doing any freelance, if you don't do any weekly kind of challenges. The odds are you won't need a blog or might not need one for some time. So you don't need one for your website necessarily, but it's just some things to think about down the line. I consider a blog like a digital sketchbook in a lot of ways. So you can see the required resources. These are all the things that you should do before you tackle the discussions or the assignments. So you have a reading here on Is Blogging Dead? And then another variation of it with just text only if that's easier for you than a video. Another reading here on hero images. That's the design portion of this week, what we'll be working on. Some tips on using images in website designs, like how to optimize them, the differences between using like a JPEG and a PSD file. A Photoshop file, you wouldn't be uploading that to your WordPress site because that's a really big file. Designing icons for the web, optimizing those graphics. And then the attribution tracker. If you haven't started using it, definitely check this out. You might not need it for my course specifically as of yet, but you will definitely need it when you are finishing up with your final portfolio. It's going to help you keep all your graphics basically in a nice little format where you can say, I got this image from here, I made this one, I got this image from here. All the additional stuff, of course, these are all optional videos and readings. If you've never touched Illustrator or Photoshop, these are great to look at because you're going to be designing some graphics this week. So you have Illustrator for web, Photoshop for web, and then a little bit more about WordPress 8. Okay. So those are the resources for the week. So popping back to the module number 3. So we have a couple of things that we're doing this week. The first thing that we're doing is a discussion on blogging. Now, I've mentioned that it might not be a good fit for you, but it's still a good experiment to kind of find blogs that you like, dislike, and things of that nature. Let's see. So this comes after the readings. So you need to share your perspective on the current state of blogging. How do you think the use of blogs has changed, maybe from the beginning to now? What types of blogs are you more likely to read and why do you read them? What do you think makes it useful and effective? You can read through the rest of the specifics there. So of course your initial post is due by Thursday, and then respond to 2 of your peers before the week ends on Sunday night. Okay, all the stuff is there as far as the rubric as well. Please be aware of the word count and things like spelling because those do count if you have noticed points deducted from week 1. Okay, the other thing that we're going to be doing is the visual content for working more towards your final. So I'm going to go over this, and I have a bunch of different things to show you this week. So visual content for your website. So you can read through all the specifics here, but basically what you're going to be doing, and it's okay if you don't get them all completed. From here on out, we're all working kind of one-on-one. Some of you might have one hero image that you get done that's completely approved by me. And, someone else might need a lot of work. Maybe the typography looks bad. You want to switch it out. The graphics look rough. That's when I'll be like, redo it. Keep revising it until it's done. So what you'll be doing is you'll be creating a hero image to include in the header of your portfolio site's homepage. Okay, so most of you have had some kind of situation where you hit your homepage and there's a header image floating there. You might have multiple images floating there, but in some capacity of your site, I'm sure you're going to have a space for graphics. So consider the header image specifications. Now, if for some reason you don't have a hero image on the web on your homepage, that's fine. This is specifically just getting you started on the graphic design aspect of your work. So the next portion is creating at least 3 additional images or graphics that you'll use on your site. So it might be editing a professional headshot of yourself. It might be some little graphics or a logo for your page. You can read down through the rest of this to see all the specifics here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of the sites just to kind of give you an example of how these would be used. So let's start with 2 that I have from last semester. So these are 2 that I have from last semester. So just as far as like graphics that you would be creating for your site, so this is her header images. It's actually in a gallery, so this could count towards your multiple images. So you can see it hits her site. It's a little fuzzy, so it wasn't optimized as well as it could have been because you could see the edges. And as you slide through the gallery, she has a seamless pattern that she created. And then her name, and then up here you could see she also created some logos for herself. Another site, she created a logo for herself. That could count as one of your graphics. And then just the textured image that she used in the background, that's another version that you could use. Just anything that you might be using on your website. Now again, I am aware that these will change as we move forward, so don't think that everything's set in stone. These are just kind of like hard deadlines so that you don't get to the end and have nothing. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. This is an actual real live like professional graphic designer if you're not familiar with Jessica Hische. She's amazing. She does mostly typography. So this is her blog. If you've never seen it, it's Jessica Hische Thinking Thoughts. So this is specifically an extension of her website. It's not done in WordPress. But you can see how a professional designer might use it as a blog. So you can see a couple of her things that she has here. She has some video embedded, and it's just talking about her work. So just someone that uses it, that, it's her little digital sketchbook to the world. That's what I consider a blog for designers. But check it out. It's great. You can see it in professional application. A couple of the other things that I'm mentioning, just general, a lot of the stuff that I'm giving you isn't just for WordPress, it's for design or web specifically too. If you don't already use it, there's a subreddit on web design. It's really good. So if you're hitting any roadblocks and you want to also put it externally to the class, you could also post it here. And there's a ton of online members, so you'll most likely get a hit within a few hours, if not immediately. But it's nice because you can get some feedback immediately versus waiting, a day or 2 for mine. Or if you're just looking to kick some things around to the universe, it's a great place just to show your work. There's also another site called uxplanet.org. If you've never used them before, if you're looking to get more into the user interface side of design, again, it's not just WordPress, but it's pretty good for a lot of things. And it's a lot of different articles. This one specifically on WordPress, I haven't searched that one. I have it set up to search. But there's all kinds of things that you can use it for. It gives some tips on using AI for getting design patterns, like things like seamless design, and all kinds of things that you can use. Or research like case studies. You can also search WordPress specifically, and it'll give you a few hits there. Then Specky Boy, if you don't already use them, they're another really good design site for web. There's all kinds of things on here. You can get free halftone brushes for Photoshop, create your own patterns and things of that nature. And it's just some really good things that you might find that are freebies, futuristic fonts. And then just really good articles, like things like why do web projects come to a standstill. There's all kinds of things that you'll find on this site if that are kind of external to the course material that the college gives you. Okay, and that's what we're doing for the week. And everybody have a great week, and I'll see you online.